Hey guys, it's Charlie. Today's video is going to be about two different things. It's an informational video on getting work in Mexico. So I know that I lived in Mexico for a year. I don't have a whole lot of information on teaching and getting a job. So since I've had that experience already for 1 year, I think it's time finally to give you more information on how to get a job and what documents are required. So the two different things I'm going to talk about is documents that are required for hiring people who are foreigners, and then documents that are required for getting your permit to work in Mexico. So I'm going to go off of a list of things. All of these things will be noted on my website, blackpearlworld.com. You can go back there if you want to refer to all of the points that I'm mentioning in this video. So first I'm going to start with documents that are required for hiring foreigners in Mexico. This is what's going to be asked from your work. It might vary from different locations, but this is a general idea that you can get. This is what I was asked for when I started working with Interlingua in Mexico. So I'm going to give you this information. Okay, so the documents required for hiring foreigners. The first thing is a tourist visa. You get your tourist visa upon arriving. You don't have to apply for it before you leave. You just book a flight, and once you get to the airport in Mexico, they give you a tourist visa. This visa can be from between 60 days to 180. Generally, what I've noticed is every time they give you 180 days, so you shouldn't really have to worry about that. The tourist visa it has to be valid for 90 days or more, so at least 90 days. Usually you don't have to worry about that because they give you 160 days. The next thing is a copy of your birth certificate, a proof of address, and it has to be a recent copy. The proof of address will have to be in Mexico, so you can use a water bill, a light bill. A good thing to do is move in with roommates, and if they have a copy of a recent bill within the last 3 months, I'd say, no more than 3 months, then you're good to go. It doesn't have to be in your name as long as you have a bill. You can borrow it from a friend if you like. So proof of address, proof of higher education, and this is a copy, so if you have a diploma, you can make a copy of that. Actually, my company, they knew that I had my degree, but they only asked me, since at that time I was in the process of getting my diploma, they only asked me for a copy of my TESOL certificate, so that was good enough for them. But it all depends on your job, but make sure you get a copy of your degree or your diploma. You need 2 pictures that are small size. In Mexico they call it infantil, and they look like this. So you need 2. What I recommend you get is a forward-facing one, and then a side-facing one. But you have to double check with the company. They might just need one, but usually they might need a front and a side. So it looks like that. And they're really small size. The next thing you will need 2 recommendation letters from your previous employers. I recommend you have this no matter what. When you work somewhere and you're finishing up your work, always get a recommendation letter from at least 2 people, a copy of your passport, and then a health certificate. This is called Constancia de Salud, and you can get it from a doctor in Mexico. You just go get a checkup and they just see if you're healthy. It's just a regular checkup. And then for women, you're going to need a negative pregnancy test from a lab certified by a physician. So you just go to the doctor and they give you a pregnancy test, and then they give you the results, and then you take the results to your employer. They want to know that you're not pregnant, because then they're going to have to pay for those fees. So that's that. If you have an FM3, which is the work permit already, so if you're Mexican and you have a work permit, you're going to need a little bit more, but I'm going to put that on my website. So those are the things that you will need for getting hired in Mexico. I will have all of those on my website. The next thing that I'm going to mention are documents that you will need by the government to get your FM3, which is your work permit. So the first thing that you'll need is a tourist visa or migratory document, which once again is valid for 90 days. Proof of address. These are pretty similar to the first things I mentioned. Proof of address, which is recent and original. Proof of higher education, and you need the original for this. A passport, which is the original passport. 5 photographs that are infantil, like this. You need 3 front, which is this. 3 front and 2 right profile. So 3 front, 2 right profile. You need to have your forehead and ears visible. No earrings, no hats, no glasses, no instant photographs are acceptable, so they need to be like this, exactly like this, and you need 3 and 2. Okay, and then you need a completed form. It's called an FM1 form. This should be provided by the employer. You can ask them about that. A letter to the government, which will be provided by your work. And a payment. It depends on the payment. I think mine was about $50 in US dollars. So all of this information is going to be located on my website. I hope this helped you to get an idea of what you're going to need to work in Mexico validly with a valid work permit legally. So if you are interested in checking out my website to see all of these things listed, I know it probably sounds overwhelming, but it's really not that difficult to get a work permit. So check out my website, blackpearlworld.com. Once again, everything will be listed there. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.